How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Today I am going to be showing you part 2 of how you can scale your high ticket offer into 20, 30, 50, even 100k per month, making it a generational wealth printing machine. If you don't know me, my name is Mo. I've generated over 600k for my clients with over 45 million views for them. And today this is going to be part 2 of our breakdown on how you can create, monetize, and scale your high ticket offer, making you multiple grand a month. And in this video, we are going to be talking more about the scaling part, about how you can turn your already existing high ticket offer into your money printing machine. If you don't already know what is a high ticket offer, you don't know any of the foundational details, or you still don't have an offer set in place, you can watch the first part. I've talked about everything about it. I've even gave you a checklist to make sure that everything you'd be doing would be up to standards and would be making you as much money as quick as possible. But today we are going to be talking about the generational wealth aspect, how you can turn this into a generational wealth printing machine. Now, this is the same shit that got all of these people into these crazy numbers. Brett Scales generating over 700k per month, Luke Belmar over 460k per month, Shelby Sapp over 5 million per month, Charlie Morgan over 833k per month, and a lot other people doing even crazier numbers just by following these same steps and this same framework. And today I'm going to show you how you can do that too. So without any further ado, let us talk about the issues or the mistakes that I see most coaches and most people in the high ticket space doing. Now, the biggest trap that most people fall in is, first of all, they don't know shit about what they're coaching. If you watch the first part where I've talked about the foundational aspects and everything that you need to do to reach that coach level and you start selling a high ticket offer, you need to know the ins and outs of your space. You need to know anything and everything that should be relative to your offer, to the questions that people might be asking, and to anything that these people would need to start making some actual serious bucks with them. And if you just want to LARP, if you don't have any info, if you don't have enough of a baggage, then please just go educate yourself or stop doing whatever you're trying to do. Because most people are looking for experts or excellence. This is the same notion that I've talked about in the last video, but to keep it short, I am looking for someone that has worked or is working with some of the biggest names or has portfolio, or I am looking for someone that does things excellently. These are the only two metrics that I'm looking for. And if you want to lie, if you want to LARP, if you want to do anything from these lines, trust me, you'll not be going very far in this high ticket space. At most, you'll be making a few grand, then you'll be called a scammer, your reputation will be tarnished, and you won't be making anything really concrete. So please educate yourself, know all of the ins and outs about what you need, because necessarily in this step, we are looking forward for someone that should give people a good and decent reason why they should be buying info from them. For example, Iman Gadzhi practically invented the SMMA space in YouTube. But now if he sells like AI agencies, people would be buying that. If he sells like growth operating, people would be buying that. If he sells anything, people would be buying that because he proved himself to be an expert in the business world. And this is the status that you should be seeing yourself to reach. Once you reach that, you'll be crossing like 70% of what you need, because at that point, you will be realizing how much your info is valuable, how much your time is valuable, and how much anything that you do should be placed. Which brings me to the second issue, which is selling a one-time 5K program. Now picture this. Imagine if I give you someone like Tony Robbins. Do you think having a one-on-one mentorship with Tony Robbins would be priced at a 5K? Would be priced at even in a 10K, 20K, 50K even? No, I'd give it at least a 200K for something like that, because he knows how to value himself. And he knows specifically that you should not be capping your LTV into something that is stagnant, especially if you are selling a one-time program. Now, the biggest issue that most people make is that they cap their LTV, their client lifetime value, into this 5K. This is the max amount that they will be getting from them. No extra upsells, no extra stuff that they'd be buying, nothing. All you'd be spending from that point on is giving practically free value until you reach a point where that value will be exceeding that 5K. So you will just be wasting your time for someone that has spent 5K like a year ago or something like that. And following this mindset, you will not be having a business, rather you'll just be having a glorified job, or even worse, you're going to be freeloading free job to people that have paid for something a solid while ago. So that's why I'll be teaching you in the next part on how to actually fix it with this ladder, but let's not skip too much. The next issue I see most coaches doing is bad organization, not really setting stuff in place, bad onboarding, not having a proper system to actually set up everything, anything. Let me give you an idea. Put yourself in the shoes of these prospects. Someone has spent their hard-earned money to join your mentorship, and suddenly all they receive is like 10 videos. That's it. or even a bit of one-on-one coaching. That is it. Like 10 videos and some one-on-one coaching. Do you think that this person would feel anything but they're not scammed? Fuck no. They would feel like they spent their money just for another scammy, cheap info. Even if your info is very valuable, but they would just feel like it's cheap, it's not worth it. I could have learned this from somewhere else. I'm never gonna trust another stranger online and all that jazz. Your point with every prospect that would be joining is to hold their hand from the starting points and bring them into the finishing line with as much results, as much success, and as much value as they can. The way I do this with most of my clients is that we try our best to put actionable steps inside the course, inside the mentorship, inside the training, just so that each and every single one would be doing stuff, not just watching, not just consuming. Because at least if they've worked for, let's say, 30, 60, or 90 days, at least you would be seeing, or they would be seeing some results from themselves. And that should make your mentorship, your course, your training instantly more valuable rather than, let's say, a YouTube video where they are just an active consumer, or a school community where the only thing that they are doing is just watching other people or just commenting all about it. And for the last point, is having no plans for the big winners. And let me straight up tell you that these people are the greatest dumbasses in this whole space. Now, let me ask you this. Why do you think people even come to you in the first place? Because you've shown a level of trust. Because people heard that you are decent in this space, that you have some good value, you have some good stuff to provide. The next step is for you to anchor this trust even further and to make yourself be more credible, more trustworthy, and to keep that in a cycle. I'm going to talk about the cycle in a while, but you should be valuing each and every single success as your own success. You should be posting case studies, testimonials, story sequences, sales sequences, and all of that jazz to prove to people that what you are doing is actually working and is the reason that people are making all of these successes. Once you reach this status, or once you prove to these people that you are reaching these statuses, and all of these people have these statuses thanks to you, these people will think, oh shit, this person might actually be the good deal. This person might actually be worth it. This person might actually know what they're talking about. So that's how you leverage all of these big winners that you have inside your community. Not just something like a one-time story, that's it. You should be pumping out all of these interviews with them, posting all of these posts, posting all of that stuff. I'm going to talk about this in detail in a while. But now, after all of these traps, we would see them costing you a lot more than what you think. First and foremost, the biggest thing that would be hurting you is your irregular and expensive lead flow. What do I mean by that? If you don't have a cycle, if you don't have a printing machine, you are basically starting from zero each month. Let's say last month you got like 5 students. The next month it'll be 0 new students. The month after will be 0 new students. The month after you'll be even losing one. We want to keep this an active cycle where you would be getting more and more people signing up rather than people going down, or at least breaking even with how much people that are signing in and out of your program. The next thing is what bad organization, what zero onboarding, what all of that scammy feeling setup leads to is to people not showing up at all because they get the impression that you don't care about them. And if they get that impression, you are cooked. Because that would lead to a lack of support, therefore a lack of results, therefore no case studies. So even that these people have spent their money and have joined for this program, but they will not be any good to you in the long term. They will just be a one-time 5K, which you can spend on a Rolex, on a yacht, on whatever, and then that money is gone. We don't want that. We want a machine. We want something that would generate us generational wealth, not something that is temporary and would be gone as quick as how it was achieved. And the last thing, which was the first thing that I've talked about, is the LTV that is hard capped at 5K, which one thing I've skipped right here about the payment plans. Most of the time, for people that really don't know shit about what they're doing or they're hiring shitty closers or whatever they do, with these payment plans, that LTV may be even less than that 5K, with people trying to do payment plans that they can't afford, with people having shitty credit scores or not good dedication or all of those issues. You are just biting on shit over shit over shit over shit that would just lead into your total failure. And this is not what we want right here. All of the people that I have shown right here, none of them built their business focusing on a single retainer, a single one-time program, or something that is not recurring, long-lasting, and well-educated. Rather, all of them went through a sequential steps that would be leading them into their final big success. And now, if you want to talk about this, we are going to talk about my 5-step ladder to generational wealth with info. And for starters, our first building block, I have graded out right here because I don't think it's necessary for all offers, especially for people that would be just starting. But for someone that is trying to scale and really achieve a high status in the field, you should be doing a low to mid ticket offer, or what I call the foot in the door. Now, picture a salesman coming door to door. If you open the door and the first thing that salesman says, "Oh, good evening, do you want to buy this?" No, 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 no. Almost 80 to 90% of the people would be shutting that door in front of that salesman. So they have evolved their tactics into something a bit more delicate. Once you open the door, they will be going, "Oh, hello, hello." They'll spark a little conversation, give you a free value, just give you enough that you won't be kicking them off the door instantly. And at the same time, if you try to close it, picture this is the door, they will be keeping their foot just so that you won't close it fully. This is what the foot in the door or the low to mid ticket serve as. And in here, we see like low tier communities, boot camps, pay challenges, literally anything that would be getting a sort of micro commitment or them listening to you and to what you can provide with something as low as $50, $75, $100, $200, or maybe even for free. And the way this is interesting is, first of all, you'll be having a lot of people that are actionable, that take action, that want to see what actually you can provide to them. And in this step, there is something we call the value price report. Your value should be immense compared to the price. You can be given like info that has costed you, let's say 5K, 10K to them for practically for free, because you want people right here to come and think of you highly, just to be fully committed and pre-stalled into your other offers. The next thing in this ladder, or the next step in this ladder, is going to be your main offer, your 5K, 2K, 8K, 10K. This is going to be your high ticket offer, where mainly it's going to be a one-on-one coaching, personalized training, weekly calls, daily training, all of that jazz. The main thing, however, is now we are not just going to do a coaching and that's it. We are going to stack it on top of a lot of other stuff. And you should not be thinking of this as your final building stone. Rather, think of it as the second building stone in your whole offer, because there will be a lot more on top of it. But now, with this high ticket offer, your goal should be around 20 to 50 members. This should be a very reasonable number for you to handle, to talk with personally, to be walking them through all of the issues they'd be having, to be dedicating your time and seeing them actually successful. Once you reach that point, you are now ready for other steps. Before going forward, once you reach this status, you should start thinking of externalizing the tasks in your team, like hiring a CSM, hiring a sales team with different setters, DM setters, more closers, enlarging that team, just so that you will start building an actual business, an actual agency, rather than it being a single man team where you are trading your time for money. This should be our final goal. And now, when we are reaching this status, growing our team and then growing our income, as we'll discover with these remaining steps in the ladder, we will be building something that would be our passive income or generational wealth printing machine. So the next step in our ladder is going to be valuing the people that are in this high ticket offer or even in the low ticket offer and inviting them into live events, something like masterminds or premium networking or 4-day events. And these events serve as actual concrete gold mines for all of the people that you'd be inviting from your community. And once you reach a good status in your field, with your people, with all that jazz, you can even be inviting them into these events. Just leverage your masterminds, your events, so much more that people would be paying those blind. Now, what's good about something like this is usually, even for something that isn't that high, it can be sold at around 1.5K to 3K easily, if it's not more. And most of the people that would be attending these events would be people from your main offer. So now we have broken that cage of LTV. Let's say out of 50 members, only 20 of them achieved. This is going to be an extra 1,000 or 2,000 per member, breaking your LTV. And this should be the mindset that you should have as a coach or as a business operator, is that you are trying your best to give as much value, but at the same time, maximizing the LTV, maximizing the amount of money that you can get, while at the same time not staying stuck. And the biggest advantage that you can provide in these masterminds and these premium networking is that even with these higher steps of the ladder, you can upsell the living fuck out of them, and people would be interested because they have committed through your main offer, they have committed through your low to mid ticket offer. They are already pre-sold on how much value you provided and how much value you are actively providing right now. So you can sell them them even more higher tiers, bigger stuff, grander stuff, and they will be paying it easily. So you can upsell the living fuck out of them, and it'll be really easy to manage all of that. Now you might be asking what we would be even upselling them. Well, picture this. Once you have reached the 20 to 50 members, your community is good. Your results are speaking for themselves. People are joining because they are satisfied. They are staying because they are satisfied. They are even renewing their program because there's a lot of good stuff, good value, a sense of community, all of the good things that you are doing good about your community. But now your community has become so big, you cannot properly handle it by yourself. You are hiring CSMs, more setters, more closers, people that would be handling your internal team. So these people would be more interested in spending more one-on-one time with you, with the businessman himself, because at this stage you have become businessman, a leader in your field, and someone that is proven to be successful. With that, you would be coming to them with the inner circle. The inner circle is where you provide direct access to you, your network, your resources. If these people got their one-on-one coaching, but they want to scale even further, they want to grow even further, and they want to work with you specifically, they will be paying this in a brim. And essentially, when you have this main offer and you'll be given as much value as possible, specifically people that would be intermediate to advanced, they will need to scale their agencies or their businesses even further. This is when they need someone just like you, not the team that is handling the high ticket offer for the beginners and intermediates. Think of it as this is the high end where they get direct access to you once you have reached an even higher status of what you already were. And the advantage about this inner circle is that the more you grow, the more valuable it is. What do I mean by that? Someone like Alex Hormozi. If you want one-on-one coaching from the Hormozi team, you might be paying 5K a year. You might be attending their masterminds or their events for 3K. But if you want one-on-one coaching from Alex Hormozi himself, you might be paying 25 grand, 50 grand, 75 grand, or 100K grand. Because at this point, you don't just want the Hormozi assets, you want the Hormozi himself, the man that built those assets. Same example with like Tony Robbins, with Iman Gadzhi, with all of these people. And the more they grow, the more their name will become even more famous, even grander in their field, becoming a leader, someone that is a top of mind name. This inner circle will become even more valuable, and the people that would be joining this inner circle and even qualify to join it will be some of the elites that are really worth that inner circle. So last but not least, this is going to be the step that should be earning you that passive income, that be making you money while you sleep. And that is the Evergreen machine or the software. What do I mean by that? We've talked about Alex Hormozi, and at this point, he doesn't even need businesses to work with because he has his software school. Same thing with Iman Gadzhi as well. We can also talk about Max Inhouse with his software Moshi, I believe. And the thing about software is now you have proved yourself as a top dominator, as someone that is actually credible, has a shit ton of testimonials and a lot of solid work. And now you are trying to improve the industry as a whole or target other people using your own knowledge. And with as big of a name as what you have, you will be building a solution that people would be subscribing to, reaching to, following your brand and not you as a person. Without all of these technicalities, the only thing that would be shared with the software is your brand, while the money will be made while you sleep. People that would be subscribing to school or buying all of those plans and all of that, they would be buying it actively because now they are buying the software, not asking Alex Hormozi each time to create a community, to create a school, to create whatever. And this is the Evergreen machine. This is the thing that would be making you money, even if you stop all of the work with all of these people right here. And once you reach this status, all you need to do is market the living shit out of it. In all of these steps, in all of your content, in even newer content, in ads, just market, and do all of it. And that should be your final step to make generational wealth with info products. Now, you can't really skip steps. Each step of these is crucial before reaching the next one. You can't really create an evergreen machine without having proven solid info about the domain, because if you create a software without actually putting in the work, you'll just be LARPing. You won't be giving anything credible to people that would be interested in. You will just be giving random nonsense, some AI generated shit, or not really doing anything that would be worth people's time. You can't create an inner circle without actually having people that would be joining this inner circle and making your inner circle valuable. You can't be hosting events without having the clientele to attend to these events and proven value of people that would be be coming to these events, and so on. So the biggest notion that we've talked about to achieve all of these is to make sure that you are providing good, solid value that should make all of the people achieving these successful, because these people would be serving at some point as your referrals, as the people that would be spreading your name freely, and ambassadors to your program as free marketing to all of what you're doing. So you should, at each and every single point, assure that they are getting actual concrete results. And that's why we are going to talk about how you can guarantee their success in 90 days or less. So, how you can actually guarantee their success in 90 days or less. The way we do it is through 4 simple steps. The first one is going to be with your first onboarding call, where you should be setting expectations, requirements, a plan of action, and defining exactly what their win metric is. What do I mean by that? When someone joins coaching, mentorship, whatever they join, their definition of win is different than you of someone else. Someone, for example, might not be making any money. Someone else might be earning something like 1K, 2K. Someone else might already be having like a 10K salary and they want to change it with something higher. So you should be understanding clearly what they're expecting to get and what their win metric is. What is their ideal goal? Do they want to earn 10K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, or even more? Do they want to fix their agency, scale their agency? Do they want to make money while they're asleep? Once you understand all of these, you should be giving them the things that they should be doing to reach these goals. For example, you'd be having someone that would already be working a 9 to 5 and they are gaining 10K salary, but they are only dedicating like 4 hours to trading. So you should be telling them that they should be dedicating like 8 hours to trading, 10, 12 hours doing strategy A, strategy B, strategy C, or just focusing on one strategy. If that's what they should be doing, they should be integrating a morning plan. They should be mediating more, focusing more on different stuff, analyzing the results. For someone in like YouTube automation, you would be telling them that they shouldn't be uploading more videos. They should be analyzing their results even further, and so on. And the more you understand what these people actually are, the more you personalize what they're doing, the easier it is for you to walk them from the starting line up into their success and their winning metric. And how we assure that even further is through each month, you should be having a check-in with them where you talk about what they achieved and what is stopping them from not achieving their win metric. So throughout each of these months, you should be talking about accountability. How much work are they actually putting? Is what you guys defined as the plan of action being followed or not? You would be asking them whether in sales, how many sales they are taking, how are their KPIs looking like, how are their metrics? What are the biggest objections that they are facing? And you should make sure that they are at least getting some sorts of quick wins. If in trading, they should be getting some wins from following you, from implementing those strategies. They should be scaling more and more what they are doing and reaching even a small level of success following what you have given them. And trust me, if you are someone that knows their shit and knows what they're actually doing, they will be getting quick wins as easy as possible. And they will be getting at least the money that they paid for their offer as quick as possible. So following all of these months, you should make sure that they are doing steady, continuous progress and they're taking accountability for their actions. And trust me, if you know what you are talking about, this is why I said the first issue is not knowing shit about what you're coaching. The more you know, the easier it is to tell them how to win. So by 90 days, they would be guaranteed a good and solid win. And that good and solid win is going to be your case study, your testimonial, and all of that jazz. So we have guaranteed them a level of success in 90 days. So the next step is going to be taking the results of these 90 days or of however many time you want throughout the program and moving that into the printing cycle. Now, you have taken their testimonial, case study, stories, sales sequences, and you should be pumping the living shit out of your content based on these results. Because now you are building on more trust, building credibility, making people see that this person got his life changed all thanks to you. This person managed to save their family, managed to earn a salary, managed to do whatever it is, all thanks to you and your program. So you've uploaded this case study, this testimonials, this sales sequences, and just one documented win can lead to all forms of communication. You can post it in Instagram as stories, as a sequence, as highlights. You can post an interview. You can post a breakdown. You can show a sales call between you two. But trust me, with just this singular win and what you actually doing, you might be getting a return of 10 new clients for it. because now you have proof that this is something trustworthy and actually working, not just LARP, not just getting the money and scamming those people out, not just cheap value. This is actually something that is worth it and works. Based on these new clients that are signed up, what do? We should be closing them. Once you close them, you will be getting them back all the way into this main offer and then assuring their success, going through an onboarding call, assuring accountability, quick wins, building their habits, extra one-on-one if they need that. And then once they are closed, we will be back into seeing their win metric, their KPIs, seeing what a win means to them, seeing how you can reach that with them, following all of our schematic until we reach, once again, documenting the case study, the testimonials, and the stories and sales sequences. And then we will continue this cycle over and over again. That is it. You won't be needing to do something crazy. You won't need to be doing something crazy. You won't need to be doing something, you won't need to be using some extreme tools. You won't need to be doing something insane. All you need is to follow this cycle. Do it properly, and congratulations. You'll be a millionaire. You'll be generating generational wealth with this info business. This is all you need to do. And so with that, let us have a quick recap. First things first, we should have a good thing to offer. As I said, I'll repeat it. You should be either an expert in what you're doing or excellent. Other than that, don't do shit. Go learn, go have a while learning or being an expert or being whatever. We don't want to LARP. We don't want to do stuff just to be called doing it. We don't want to provide low quality. We want to be providing actual actionable stuff because this is what actually people pay for in the long term. Second thing is you should assure having a proper lead flow. I've talked all about it in the first part. If you haven't watched it, second thing is qualify. We should make sure that these people are people that would be buying, not people that would be wasting your time. Third thing, management is your best friend. You need to be handling that over all of your team and all of your people. Fourth thing is the closing, one of the most important aspects. Talked all about it. Onboard and setup. I've talked now about the call, about the monthly checkups, about how you can actually make sure that this call will be the reason that they are brought, making sure they have proper accountability, they have proper guidance, holding their hand, making sure they achieve quick wins. And then once you assure their success and their arrival at the final points, you should just be documenting their success and then keeping the cycle, the printing cycle as I showed it. But you should be keeping in mind that none of this will work if the product or service that you are providing is weak. As I said, having a good thing to offer is what would be separating you from random generic LARPers, from random people that are just not providing any value or providing very bad value that would be tarnishing their names in the long run. The second thing that you should be keeping in mind, as I said right here, we should never be skipping any steps. And especially with the success, you should never, ever be LARPing with your case studies. All of your case studies should be real. Otherwise, your reputation, your trust will be fully tarnished. Fake proof breaks trust faster than any proof at all. So it will be so much better if you don't have any proof and just show the results of what you do for yourself or in a theoretical sense rather than having something fabricated. And the last thing, as I said, and I can't even highlight how important it is, this cycle is what will be making or breaking your business and making it a generational machine. So you should always be documenting. And if you ever skip that documentation habit, you are back to chasing clients from zero. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was our breakdown of how we can make a generational wealth printing machine of X info. If any of this sounds complicated, you can send me a DM on Insta. I'll answer all of your questions. I answer all of my DMs. If you want me to implement your offer and you can start earning starting next week, we can do that. And if you are a fellow growth operator, I can answer all of your questions. If you need me to talk about something in specific or something that isn't clear, just comment it down below. Let's get that bag, yo.